up here. Oh my god, I still can't get this tripod thing to work. There we go. There. Cool. What's up, y'all? Man, it's been a while since I did one of these. I think so recently it was my dad's birthday, and we hosted a little birthday party for my dad, and it went great. I don't know. I was basically the driver the entire time. I was in the little family Tesla, you know what I mean? And then went to go pick up my sister, then went back home, picked up my dad, you know. Oh, mom and dad, because our plan was we're gonna have like a little surprise dinner thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is honestly this is more of a video for him than anything, to first of all say like how much like I really do appreciate my dad. We don't usually have like super deep talks. Like when I think about my relationship with my dad, it's like, you know, a lot of it is very jokey, but also a lot of it is like super serious, you know, because well, he's my dad, you know. It kind of has to be. A lot of the times it's just like, oh, Nate, we got to do this. Oh, dad, we have to do this, you know. And it's we don't get a lot of time just like, you know, just chilling together, you know, especially now that I'm just off to university. I think I might see him this weekend actually, but I'm not so sure yet. Anyway, no matter how like unserious or serious my relationship is with him, you know, I've learned so much, and I think that some of the things that he taught me are super important, you know. So I wanted to share that with you guys, you know. Actually move my camera down a little bit. I think this is better. I just there we go. Is this better? I think it's better. Yeah, looks pretty good. So I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory. I think the first time I really started talking to my dad about like deep stuff was when I turned 16 years old. I'm 19 right now, so it was maybe like 3-4 years ago. And at that point, oh man, I was a racket. I had this one friend who I might be dorming with next year. But I had this one friend who had started making money, like a lot of it, you know. He's still making a lot of money, especially when compared to like the average 18-year-old. Just like insane amounts for like me to like comprehend, right? And this guy was like 15. He was my age also, and he was making a ton of money. Obviously, I got curious. I kind of wanted to get into it, so I was like, okay, cool. How'd you do it? Right. So the summer of my junior year in high school, I had basically just started working on. I don't even know what I was working on. I guess I was just like learning, maybe just from like videos online, like what it means to be successful, all that fancy blah 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 blah. I'd gotten into like the red pill space of like YouTube and Instagram and stuff, where it's just like stuff is like nobody's gonna save you. You have to work harder. You have to work until you die, right? And well, I messed around with that, you know, because like at that point also I had just recovered from a low-ish point in my life, so it was kind of my redemption arc, you know. So it was like I just started working. I don't even know what I was working on, but what I do remember is I just sat at my computer, as in like 8 hours a day, writing stuff down about like money, right? Just trying to learn as much as I possibly could about like, oh, how do I make money? So like some guy brought up drop shipping. I tried drop shipping, it didn't work. I tried copywriting, it didn't work. Obviously, because like I was like what, 15, 16 at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. But anyway, that was like the first sense of like actual discipline in my life. You know, like of course when I was young, my parents always pushed me to do like I did karate when I was like from I think 10 to maybe 14 years old. And like this thing called Kumon, I did that from like when I was 2 all the way to when I was like 14 or 15 years old, right? So I guess you could count that as discipline, but that was more of like parents making me do something that I didn't really want to do, right? But this was just me. This was just me just putting my head down, and I was just writing away, right? Eventually it got to a point where I was just stuck there. You know, it didn't feel like I was making much progress. I was like, you know, I was on the grind, you know. I was just like running away day after day, sleep, wake up, right, sleep, wake up, right. And then I was just like, I got like, I was so focused on my work that it kind of like distanced me from like everything. You know, it distanced me from family, it distanced me from friends, it distanced me from school, stuff like that, right? And I began to get sad. I was like, dang, this is kind of like a lonely path, you know? I consider myself to be like an extrovert. I know, like my friend who did this before for like 3 years at that point is like, that guy is an introvert, right? Like, he's able to spend like hours and hours just working away and like not feel anything, which I mean, it's like, it's fine. I mean, if it works for him, it works for him, right? But me, I began to get like sad, right? And this is where my dad came in. Whenever I look at my dad, like, he's definitely gone through some like difficult times, you know? Like, I can tell, like, we were born in the Philippines. He was the one who got my mom and me out of the Philippines and like into the United States. Something as big as that to as small as like he just comes back from work feeling, you know, tired. But it's weird. It's weird. My dad would always, I don't know, he'd always find a way to be happy, you know? We had long talks. I remember when I first started skiing with him like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. After skiing, we'd go out for ramen, you know, like just without my sister knowing. She loves ramen, but like, favorite child, you know. Sorry, Isa. We'd always go out for ramen, and then we'd have these deep talks, you know. And obviously he knew about what I was doing, and it was curious to him, like, you know, this isn't like normal 16, 17-year-old behavior. So he kept on asking me about it, and then I told him how I felt. It was like, I remember asking him this one question, and it just led to him just like, it led to a huge conversation about just happiness, you know? What does it mean to be like, what does it mean to be successful, and what does that path look like, you know? Like, because for me, I was framed in a way of just like, success takes sacrifice, you know? You have to sacrifice the things that you love. You have to sacrifice your friends, you have to sacrifice your family just to become like successful and have like lots of money, because that's what I was concerned with at the time, you know? There's always this one piece of advice which I will never forget, you know? Like, I don't think my dad watches my videos. I don't think he will remember that he said this to me, because it was just such an off the cuff, like, just boring thing, right? Well, not boring, but it's just off topic, you know? It's not something that if someone else was listening into our conversation, they were like, oh, that's something to remember. It's nothing like that. All he said was just like, you can be happy if you want to be. That really stuck with me, especially now when I'm like working basically 24/7. Right now it's either boxing, filming, or school. That's all I do, the 3 things, and then I just go to sleep. You know, it's in the little things, and it's in the little like progressions that you make and the friends that you make that you can find like happiness, you know? He was the one who taught me like, it's okay to relax a little bit, you know? Like, instead of working 8 hours a day, you know, just go outside and like have some fun. And more often than not, you'll find people who will like, you know, and more often than not, you'll just find people who identify with you, and then just everything just becomes happier because you have friends. And it's like, you know what I mean? Honestly, I'm sorry. I I can't find a better way to articulate this because I just did this completely off the cuff. I've been having writer's block for the longest freaking time. I just look at my laptop and it's just like, oh, what do I write? And then I'm like, I want to talk about this. And then I just write one sentence and it was like, I want to talk about how my dad said to be happy. And that's all. That's all I'm able to write. So I'm sorry if I'm stuttering a bunch. It's just like, this is something, it's something that means a lot. It's something that means a lot to me, and it's something that has definitely changed my life for the better. My dad just teaching me to be like more carefree, because for the longest time he has been like, you know, this is what it means to work hard. This is what it means to like have discipline, you know, do your homework, do your homework. And I was like, okay, I got it, right? But now that I'm older and he's telling me just like be happy, you know, what a change, right? And it's like he's the one who showed me like it's okay to chase after stuff and then do your own. He's the one who showed me is like it's okay to chase after stuff and then like just be chill, you know, be happy. I don't know how else to say it. Like I see so many people in the university that I'm in is just are just like work. Oh my gosh, I have a test tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I have this club meeting another day, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna die, right? No, man. Like you just, I get that. I get it. It's a notion that's pushed in social media a lot, like grind set, blah blah blah, winter arc, New Year resolution, even, you know. But like, make those things fun. That's how I got into vlogging. My first video was about like Jenga. It's a stupid video, but like, you know, a lot of us have time, and if you manage to make like those things fun and you're happy while you're doing it, it'll still lead to like great things in the future, but you don't have to be like absolutely devastated right now. You can just be happy, you know. It's like you're cruising. It's a win-win. So yeah, that's basically it. We had that surprise party. I went to a family friend's house for a while. My dad and his friends, they went bar hopping, and I was like, I had to pick them up at like 3 a.m. I think from the past year, that's probably the biggest thing that I learned from my dad, is just to, especially if you're working hard, just take it easy and have some fun while you do it, because, you know, these are the glory days, you know. Oh my god, that was cheesy, but whatever. Anyway, that's all I got. Bye-bye.